is the approach I would take. The government doesn't know what's best for us. They don't. You know what's best for you. You know what's best for your family. You know what's best for your children. And we're losing rights. And as bills like this are passed, and now we talked about cap and trade, we talked about stimulus. Every time one of those bills is passed, we lose individual rights. And every time there's a benefit or an entitlement given, we lose individual rights. To the point where, as I mentioned earlier, by 2012, I don't think we'll recognize this country if we don't make some changes. We need to get back to the Constitution. We need to get back to the proper role of government. We need to get back to the fundamentals that made this country what it is. And the reason I believe it's important for us to fight this year, this November, and to win the seat back is because this country is the greatest. In the history of the world, it is the greatest country. It offers what no other country can offer. And so we really need to fight hard to protect her and to do what it takes to get us back on course. So that's what my campaign is about. And at this point, I'll open it up to questions. And again, I'm delighted to have you all here. It's such a pleasure to meet all of you. We have a microphone up here, or you can just sit up and say whatever you like.
My time is going to expire real quickly, so I thought I'd go first. My problem with the health, one of my many problems with the health care bill is that I think the argument about making the insurance companies a villain, I think that's very disingenuous. And if you look at the actual profit, many of the large insurers are non-profit to begin with. And secondly, if you look at the profits, I think I looked in, the top two, like Pepsi and Kraft, actually make more profits than do the top 10 health insurers. So to be constantly pointing the finger at the health insurers, as evil, I think is just wrong. And what I have a problem with is that I think that the argument has not centered around what I think is really the cause of our health costs spiraling out of control. And I'm just going to read from something that I got from Stephen Bird, who's the CEO of Safeway, and he was able to reduce his company's healthcare costs with free market solutions. And basically, he said that the first insight that he gained to minimize his company's healthcare costs was that 70% of all healthcare costs are the direct result of behavior. And the second insight, which is well understood by providers of healthcare, is that 74% of costs are confined to four chronic conditions, which is cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, and obesity. 80% of cardiovascular disease and diabetes is preventable, 60% of cancers are preventable, and more than 90% of obesity is preventable. So what we're really talking about, I think, what we should be talking about is holding people accountable. And if we had to buy our health insurance like we buy either life insurance or car insurance, maybe our behavior would, maybe we'd take a look at better care of ourselves. I mean, 15, 20 years ago, we didn't have an epidemic of diabetes. We didn't have this epidemic of obesity going on. I think, and I'll be the first to point the finger inward. My husband, I love him. He likes Twin Trees pizza and wings. And he went and got himself a large, Twin Trees pizza with sausage and pepperoni. And, he got the specials. So we got the 24 wings with a 2-liter soda. It was all for him. He ate it for 3 days in a row. I mean, and I think, he's, along with so many other people, have succumbed to the mentality that, well, you know what, medical technology is such that there's Lipitor or whatever if I come up with some heart condition. So he's just uninsured. Now contrast that to, a year ago when we were shopping for life insurance policies, and all the literature in the life insurance packet said, make sure you don't eat any fatty foods. When he was eating salad for a week prior to our test. So it baffles me, like, how are we going to solve this crisis in our healthcare industry, whatever you want to call it, and we're not addressing the real problem, which is people don't take care of themselves, and thus we have an epidemic of obesity, heart disease,
And that's a great point. You make a very good point in that people should be held accountable for their behaviors. My problem with that is I don't, And there's no disrespect, but I don't want Michelle Obama telling me what I can eat tonight.
I agree with that.
It really should be tied into your agreement with your insurance company. If you choose safe behaviors and you're an exerciser and you eat well, then your insurance company ought to acknowledge that in your premium rate. It should be between you and that's the problem with that bill. Is it inserts the government into all of our relationships, whether it's our insurance company or our doctor or whatever. But that's a great point. People should be
Just to go back on what you just said, the Safeway company did it they lowered their cost by 40% by incentivizing people to hit criteria. Like, so you don't even have to take part. If you don't take part in this program, your healthcare costs are going to be X. If you meet the criteria, like if you regulate your blood pressure, you regulate your cholesterol, your body index. If you have all that to a certain level, then you get an incentive, you get a discount. And I mean, you get safe driver discounts. You get a better rate on life insurance if you meet such a criteria. And I'm not saying that they should penalize people who did have breast cancer. I mean, my mom had breast cancer. I don't think that should be penalized, but you should be able to get an incentive for good behavior.
excellent. So, yes.
I hope I can go. I don't know how long they're going to last. And I don't. Yeah,
Your
anyway.
kids first this time.
Yeah. Okay, so my name is Beverly Bunker. I talked to you on the phone. I called you. You were on your way to Washington D.C. when I called you. You were where I am. Maybe. Okay. Anyway, I just want to say a few things. I have so many things I would love to tell you, but I'm going to try and keep it brief. But I just wanted to say I'm a registered Republican, but I don't consider myself necessarily Republican anymore. I'm conservative first, before Republican now. I think things have changed so much, and I thought I was on the right side, but then I realized there are some things going on in the Republican Party that are not, consistent with my views. And I was really upset with the party at the end. That really lost me, and I have very conservative values. So I just want to. What I need to do is to be more than a Republican, even though you're a Republican nominee. And I believe that you are, but I just need to tell you that. And I'm going to be really disappointed because I know there's corruption there. There's corruption in so many different aspects of our government. But I just want to tell you face to face that I really need you to stay free from that. And I hope that you would, because I look at you as a person that hasn't been a lifetime politician. And I see you as a mom and a grandmother, so I really hope so. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you that, I'm a small business owner. My husband is a dentist, and we run our own office. And if the cost of healthcare goes up, we'll just cut insurance for our employees. We're not going to take the cut. But if every small business has to do that, that's going to lose even more jobs. I care about my employees. I'm a very generous boss, I feel like, but I can only do so much. We have to pay our loans on our business. We have to be able to live too. But I want to be a good boss. Please help me be a good boss. I'm just absolutely devastated by the healthcare bill. And I'm not stupid. I know it's a framework for, Barack Obama's utopian, America that he wants to create. It's just the beginning. They try to get whatever they can get passed. But I know what they're, too. But yes, and I really need my own personal freedom as far as my health care goes. My son Ryan right here, he was diagnosed with autism, but he has recovered from a lot of things. Not completely, but because despite the doctors, and I would love to talk to you about this later on because there's so much to do with autism that I can say already. But I need my freedom to be able to make the healthcare choices that I need to. And with, for instance, my son Cameron, who kind of went down the same path, and I don't want to get into the vaccine conference, but with Cameron, we're not going to non-vaccinate, but we do one vaccine at a time. And by the time he starts school, he will be completely vaccinated. But I'm not going to do what I did with Ryan as a doctor. Give my son 5 vaccines in one day. Okay?